Hi, it's Kim behind the scenes with Naked Kim, the making of kimTV. Today I'd like to share a little bit about the creative process. I get asked a lot, where do I come up with the ideas for what I talk about on kimTV? And at the moment, it's from my head. Now, it's the beginning of kimTV, so I do kind of wrestle a little bit with the idea of do I just come up with the ideas that I have and wonder if people care about them? Or do I comment on what other people are saying and then, so that in a sense, draft that conversation? You know, marketers, people that teach marketing will say, from an SEO or keyword standpoint, find out what people are talking about, what they're searching for, and create content around that. YouTubers and bloggers often will find out what's trending and comment on that, so that in a sense they take advantage of what's bubbling to the surface and kind of follow with it. I kind of call that commenting on a conversation. Or if you're starting the conversation, it's coming from you. So at the moment, I'm starting the conversation. For the last 10 years, I've only been speaking as a speaker and a writer and an author and a communicator and an educator and a trainer on for Brand You. And I have to say that there was a whole bunch of me that didn't get communicated, didn't get expressed. So when I was led to create kimTV, it was like, finally I get to talk about so many other things. And it was hard to narrow down. There was a couple dozen topics that I wanted to talk about. Once I got free of the brand box, it was let me at it. But I was able to, through an incredible process with my producer, Vito, get it down to 6 different subjects. And the 6 different subjects in there, and thinking through the businesses behind those subjects, broader than just me talking about a topic. So now all my ideas fit into one of those 6 subjects for the most part. And every day I either write it down on my iPad, or I record it on my phone, or I write it on my fridge. I have a little board on my fridge, or if I'm in the car and I get an idea, I write it on my skin somewhere so I don't forget. And if it's for one of my other shows that I'm developing, and by the way, being a part of Naked Kim, you're the only one that gets to find out about that. I don't share that with the kimTV audience. It's completely other things. So you get to see all of my development. So now it fits into one of those, for the most part, in one of those 6 segments. And you can see the segments at kimTV. And I typically do one segment an episode. But for now, that's how I'm approaching it, is that I have to believe that there are a lot of people like me. Maybe I have a unique view of things, but there's a lot of people like me, and they're waiting to hear somebody talk about something that nobody's ever talked about. And when I say it, they go, aha, that's exactly what I've been thinking. So that's my approach. I'm taking the angle that I'm going to start the conversation, and that people will comment on it if they want to. It makes me think of years ago when I was a stand-up comedian. When you're a comic, you don't try out your new material at the Comedy Store or the Laugh Factory or the Improv. By the time you get there, your jokes, you want to make sure that your jokes pretty much work. Maybe you may not be good on a night sometimes. You may bomb on a night, but you know that your jokes worked. And so you have to try them out still in front of an audience. So I would go to coffee houses and things like that, open mics. And there was a coffee house about 20 minutes from me that I knew every Tuesday night I could go, get up on an open mic, work 10 minutes of material. And there'd be the same people that would be doing the same thing. And there was this one comic, a kind of a short, kind of overweight guy, had a lot of facial hair, and he always looked disheveled. And I loved when he would show up. There was something about it. He never commented on what was going on in the news or in culture. And his jokes never had your formulaic, your normal setup of a joke. He never kind of followed. He had his own style. Now, mind you, his jokes often didn't work, but he did every time. There was something about him that was so funny And the way that he said it, and it just got into you like a virus. Sometimes there was a delayed laughter. You may be laughing at a joke that he said 5 minutes ago, but it was there, and it just kind of filled you up. And I just loved him. There was something about the way that he approached what he did was just so delicious to me. And his name is Zach Galifianakis. Now, if that name sounds familiar, then you probably watched him in The Hangover, and The Hangover 2, and Hangover 3, and done a bunch of movies since then, and became a big star. He even had his own late-night talk show for a short period of time. And I have to believe that he got there not because he was commenting on a conversation, but he was starting it and following in the footsteps of some of the people that I hold great communicators, like the George Carlins and the Lily Tomlin and amazing people like that really, and Ellen even, that start the conversation. So for me, the creative process is where do I get my ideas? Out of my experience, out of things that I think about, things that I think are important to talk about. So that's does not mean that I won't from time to time comment on something if I'm able to bring a unique view to it. Otherwise, I'm not gonna draft for draft's sake. So that's where I stand on the creative process in terms of where my ideas are coming from. If you have any questions about the creative process, like how do I get over fear, how do I get over blocks, anything that you want to know about, go over to the forum. There's a specific section just on the creative process. So ask your questions there. I'm on the forum several times a week. So I really want you to get the most out of this experience. So go there. I'm there. I'll answer any questions. And I just want to say thank you so much for being a part of Naked Kim as I take this wild ride, this off the high dive into my dreams. And it's a joy to learn and share it's a joy to walk into this experience not knowing things and to be sharing what I learn with you. It's an absolute honor to share it with you, and stick along for the ride because it's going to get exciting. So that's a peek of what's going on in my world. I upload these videos every Tuesday. I also upload kimTV on Saturdays, and coming soon, I'll upload a new show on Thursdays. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for me to say please? Please click that red button and subscribe. And when you do, you'll be personally notified when I do. That's right, I'll personally notify you. Sure, it'll be coming through YouTube, but you and I both know it'll be personally from me. And if you'd like to take a closer look at what it really takes to do all this, click on the Naked Kim logo over there. Thank you for being in my world. Raphael and I are grateful to be in yours.